How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to episode 4, because I know it's 4 now. The last one was 3, by the way. Yeah, that was funny. I am obviously DNAG, and this is obviously CP, and this is, again, episode 4. Today we're going to be talking about a fun hot topic that comparing comparing how horror movies used to be compared to what they are now. Because kind of like horror movies back ways ago, the old time horror movies used to be pretty darn good.
Oh yeah, they were.
As far as I'm concerned, I think they were even before our time. Even like the old classic It movies, as far as I know, horrified an entire generation because of how horrifying it was.
Yeah, back then they were way better than they are now.
Very. Not even. You can't even. You can compare them, but like, they're not on the same scale compared to old movies compared to now, because like. Excuse me, and old horror movies used to just absolutely dement you and horrify you for the rest of your days.
Now you can anticipate when you're gonna have a jump scare.
Yeah, they rely too heavily on jump scares. I feel like, because almost every horror movie nowadays has nothing but jump scares. They're not even horrifying, really, or scary.
No.
They're just jump scare, jump scare, jump scare, jump scare.
Yeah.
You can predict exactly when the jump scares are going to happen, and then they happen, and it's like, really?
It's like, bam! Oh.
Wow.
I was prepared for that.
Yeah, because it's like, all right, I even caught myself doing it sometimes. It's like a little quiet moment, and jump scare. Bam! There it is right there.
Yep.
Wow. Shocking. It's almost like I knew it was going to happen. I haven't even seen this movie.
No, you didn't.
Yeah. It's just like copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste. Like, I've had a time where I went out and saw Annabelle Creations or something like that. I think what it was. Like 3 years ago maybe. Yeah, I paid to go to the movies and see the movie, hoping that it was scary. I left early from that movie. I made it in, not even 30, 45 minutes. I think maybe an hour. It was in between 30 minutes and an hour. And I left early. I was like, no. This movie is boring. I'm about to fall asleep because of how boring this movie is.
Oh, geez.
And I left early. That is how bad some horror movies are nowadays.
I don't think I've ever had that happen before. I think they're all right. Well, they were back then, so.
Yeah, when you used to be able to get the chance to go to horror movies in the movie theaters, or if you take you got to watch them at home. Man, back when we were kids, those horror movies used to scare the daylights out of us.
Oh yeah, we didn't anticipate, on the jump scares.
There was. I don't even think there was hardly even jump scares at that time. They were just sick movies.
Like The Conjuring.
Yeah.
I once saw The Conjuring. That scared me.
Yeah. It was terrible. Terrible in a good way. Those horror movies, they weren't even about jump scares. They were just literally just demented movies.
Yeah. Based off of real stuff.
Yeah, some of them, were based off of kind of real stuff. But it's like, I'm gonna silently plug in my mother, thanks, because she used to love horror movies like that, and still does. She used to scare the daylights out of us with The Woman in Black and then The Woman in Black 2.
Oh, geez.
Those movies were so scary. When I was a kid, those movies were so damn scary. It freaked me out. It's kind of like another horror movie back from those days. It was a movie, if any of you all remember, it was a movie called Mirror. It was one of the most horrifying horror movies that I've ever seen back from that time. For almost 10 years after I saw that movie, I couldn't even look in the mirror without look at myself. I couldn't even look at myself in the mirror without kind of walking away from it and then kind of glancing back and hoping my reflection still wasn't in the mirror. Am I still there? No. Okay, good. I'm good to go.
Jeez,
I'm not gonna die. That's how bad those movies used to scar people. It's it was so good. It's exciting. Then you watch those kind of movies back, still nowadays, and it's like, damn, still fresh. That wound is still fresh.
Yeah.
I'm still scared.
That would scare me too. I wouldn't look in a mirror either. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like I couldn't even look in the mirror right without just kind of walking off. Like, all right, done. Let me make sure I'm not still in the mirror. No, okay, good. And so I was always thinking, man, one of these days my reflection's still going to be there. And I'm like, nope.
You can have your clone pop
Done.
out.
Done.
Yeah.
Like, Mom, we have to buy a new mirror. Why? I was still in there. What do you mean? It's your fault. Like, it wasn't mad anymore. It's just, I did see one pretty demented horror movie from recently. I think it came out in like 2020 or something like that. It was called Evil Dead Rise. That movie was absolutely gory and sick. Like, it freaked me out a little. I was like,
Really?
yeah, it's like already like 5 minutes into the movie, somebody's getting their scalp ripped off.
Oh, jeez.
Just by grabbing like their ponytail
Ouch.
or their braid, and their scalp just ripped right off. First 5 minutes. And I'm like, oh, okay. That's how we set the tone now. All right.
Jeez.
Had one of those classic, had one of those classic classic parts of horror movies, how they used to. Someone's got a chainsaw, and someone's getting sent through a wood chipper. It seemed like back in like the actual like killer movies, that used to be one of like the staples of horror movie.
Oh, like
Someone's got
Jason?
someone's got a chainsaw, or someone's getting sent through the wood chipper. Out of the way. And then you got those kind of like the Jason, like the Michael Myers movies. I feel like are getting a little run down, way too much now.
Yeah.
I mean, they used to be really good. Like I said, again, those killer movies, they used to be really, really good. Like the recent ones, I think they tried a little too hard to make it look gory, kind of like back then. I mean, they were good. They were okay. It just, I feel like sometimes you gotta let those iconic people like stay in the past with those good classic movies. Stop trying to remake everything.
New actors. You gotta remake it. Come on.
Well, like, I just feel like some of those times there's like classic movies like that if they were really good classic movies, they're just trying to make as much money out of it as possible by remaking. Like Disney's been doing that a lot, where they're doing live action remakes of their old classic Disney stuff, but they're inputting like other new stuff, like the live action Aladdin movie. I went and saw that a while ago. They had a completely different song in there that was like all about women's power and women's power. I have all the power. I don't have to do nothing. This and that. And this and that. I was like, that wasn't even in the old Disney movie.
No.
Like, yeah, she in Aladdin, in the old classic movies, she didn't want to marry just anybody. Well, obviously, but like. They deliberately inputted an entire full song and a full scene just for women's power, like the women's power movement.
All right.
And I'm not saying the women's power movement is wrong. I'm not saying that. Just so we're clear, I'm not saying that that's wrong. I'm just saying, why remake something like that, then add that topic onto it, just to shove it down people's throat?
You can't come up with anything good like the old ones. Everybody want to watch the old movies. Where's this one? Where's that one? Where's Home Alone?
Yeah. Leave the old classic movies in the past where they belong. Let us watch them now, still the classic ones, and reminisce of how good those movies were when we first saw them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Stop remaking them and then making them total crap.
Pretty much. That's what they're doing. With all of them.
Oh yeah. Disney has been going haywire with that stuff. I mean, they're making everything. They've remade The Lion King. They've remade Aladdin. I feel like there was a couple other ones they remade, like live action wise. I know The Lion King, Aladdin. There's one more that I saw.
I don't really know.
I don't remember. And they're doing The Little Mermaid now. Yeah, it just, and even like I said, in some of those horror movies, there's just the fact that they're just trying to get as much money out of a brand as possible. Like, it's not even. You would think. Now here's where I've always been. You would think with how much technology and how much like CGI can do and how much all this, you would figure that with the more advanced technology that they could make better scary movies, like really, really horrifying scary movies.
Yeah.
But they fall flat every time.
So then, what's your like pet peeve of watching a movie, or any movie?
Just any movie?
Yeah. What's your pet peeve?
Interesting. I don't know.
Mine is when they're talking and like you're paying attention.
Yeah.
And you're watching them, and the lips don't match up to what they're saying.
Oh yeah.
It's off by like a few seconds. It's like
Yeah.
no one can match it up right.
Yeah.
So
That's
why make a good movie?
Yeah, that stuff's pretty annoying. Is when you can see that the audio is, is delayed like that. It's really like, oh my god, please stop.
Just kind of turn it off. Next movie.
Done.
Yep.
You messed it up. Get out of here. I don't know. I'd say that would probably be one of my top ones, or like. I'd have to think about that. That's an interesting question. I usually get frustrated at that, or when like just all the remakes, all the classic remakes, of like trying to do stuff from back then and now. Like one of my just worst pet peeves, especially with like scary movies or like movies that are supposed to be like gory, is like some of them either don't try enough and it's just lackluster, or they try way too hard to make a movie like explosive and good, like Steven Spielberg movies. Even Steven Spielberg movies, you always expect there's a crap ton of explosions at some point. Guess what? Every single time, boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
Like all those Transformer movies he did.
Yep.
Good movies. Explosions every fucking 5 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't seen one, but recently, from what I recall, there's a lot of explosions.
Yeah. And one of pet peeves either too. Sometimes redoing continuing to do off movie franchises just gets to be too boring.
Really?
For me, it's certain ones.
All right.
Like the Indiana Jones franchise.
Yeah.
They're up to like what, 8, 9 movies now?
I think it's
No.
5, to be honest.
Is it?
Yeah.
Because I think there used to be, 4 back then?
4
And
now.
then they made about 2 more? Something like that? Either way.
Yeah.
It's just like, okay, the dude, what is his name? Henry Ford?
I think so. I'm not quite for sure.
Henry Ford or something like that? He's getting to be really old. I mean, let him live his life.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I bet if you're offering him enough money, then sure, do any movie you want. Because he ain't got nothing else better to do.
True.
But sometimes let certain franchises die.
Yeah.
Like,
Everybody needs to know when to quit. He certainly hasn't found that spot.
no, they haven't found that spot with the Indiana Jones commercials. It's like, we haven't been making enough money. Let's throw another Indiana Jones movie out there. Sure.
Yeah. See?
And like you said, obviously, and some of you probably have that opinion about the Fast and Furious franchise. I will acknowledge that. They're up to, next year will be the 10th movie, which is it's a lot. Don't get me wrong, it's a lot.
Wow.
But they're actually going to end the main story on 11.
Are they?
Yes.
Oh,
That's
alright.
it. Like, because 9, 10, and no. Yeah, because the recent one was Fast X. So 10, 11, I think it's 10, 11, 12. Yeah, 10, 11, and 12 are the last 3 movies of that, story.
Alright.
For the, Fast and Furious. Obviously, they're probably going... I heard that they're going to be doing, trying various, spin-offs and whatnot, which, I mean, sure, by all means, go for it. But that main franchise is ending at 12 movies.
Alright.
Because this recent one was 10, the next one was 11, the next one next year is 11, and then 12 is the last one because it's a 3-part movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they gotta quit somewhere.
Yeah. So it's like, at least they know, like, 12 is going to be it. They said that 12 is the last one because it's the final, like, you know, the final stories of, like, finishing it. You know, finishing that
Alright.
whole point. Which, and then, like I said, they'll probably do, I wouldn't be surprised if they do spin-offs of that movie, you know, of those movies, like Hobbs and Shaw. I think they were going to do a Hobbs and Shaw 2
Alright.
or something like that. But, which, I mean, the Hobbs and Shaw movie, I thought it was pretty good, not gonna lie. It was a different take on it, which was really nice.
Yeah.
But I do want to give a shout out to Jason Momoa in Fast 10. That was arguably one of the best supervillains that I can seen from nowadays. Like when you see him doing mostly like superheroes and good guys in movies, to see him do a supervillain like that, do completely flamboyant colors and everything, all lavender, and how funny he was every time he was on the screen, but he was still like supervillain wise. It was really nice.
Alright.
He carried every scene that he was in just because of how good he could act. Like it was really nice to see because it's like, damn, an actual like really good, you know, person that they're going up against in these movies for what's really damn solid. It was pretty nice.
Alright. I'll check it out sometime.
Yeah, you definitely. It was a really good. And that's just me personally. Sometimes I like to say, you know, I will admit, seeing how many movies they've been making is like, okay, gotta know when to stop. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying I love the movies because I go to watch them every time because of how out there they are.
Yeah.
The Fast and Furious franchise is where I first got my love for cars, and I will continue to watch them, and I will continue to support those Fast and Furious movies until the day that they stop. And then after that, I will keep watching them and keep watching them on DVD. I don't care. That is my favorite franchise of all time, by far. Hands down is the Fast and Furious franchise.
Alright.
Just because of how they made me feel about cars. I can ask you the same question. What is your favorite movie series?
It had to be Transformers.
Transformers?
Yeah. It's so unique, you know, something you don't really see all the time.
Yeah.
It'd be pretty cool to drive Transformer like Bumblebee.
Yeah.
Transformer into a huge robot shooting, you know, 5-6 inch, you know, rockets. It's like,
Okay.
geez, I was sitting on that, you know, a
Yeah.
minute ago.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That's pretty nice.
So yeah, I would say that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. These movies aren't too bad either. I like, you know, they're pretty good. They're pretty easy.
But yeah, then again, you know when to stop. I'm glad they did after the Bumblebee movie.
No, they didn't. They actually made a recent one.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll have to check it out.
It's
so far behind.
Transformers, something Rise of the Beasts or something like that. I'm probably wrong on that title, but
Oh,
yeah.
all right.
Yeah, they did come out with a recent one.
All right.
So even that, it'll always continue now. But I mean, in some of those areas of like when they've made out comics and whatnot for them, you really can't like. There's really no limit to how many movies that they could do because then there's different stories of different comics that they could do.
Yeah, unlimited.
It's kind of like Marvel. Marvel's always coming out. Even nowadays, Marvel's coming out with comics. But like there is no shortage of movies that they can make just off of Marvel because of how many movies or how many comics that Stan Lee created.
Wow.
He made so many different versions, so many different storylines, so many different like almost I should say like almost hundreds of thousands of comics
Yeah.
that they've done on like each character, you know, different scenarios, different versions of the Avengers, and
All right.
which is where the MCU just keeps making money. The Marvel Cinematic Universe just keeps making money and keeps making money and keeps making money because they'll just whip out any comic that you see and just be like, all right, we're doing a movie on this one next. Oh, we got another one? All right, here we go. Here's another one.
The most populated one, yeah.
Yeah, you just got to list through them all. Okay, we're doing this one next.
Top 100.
Yeah. And, I mean, seeing those comics, you know, from then coming to life and coming onto the screen is, like, super, really nice to see because it's, like, it's awesome. It's, like, some of us, us nerds like me, like I used to get enjoyment out of seeing, certain of those superheroes are my, idols because they're like that you look up to them, you see them like those are cool characters growing up with.
Mhm.
Obviously, I have a Captain America shield on my shoulder, duh, or on my chest, not my shoulder.
Yeah, it's in that area.
I have Spider-Man on my wrist. I have Black Panther on my shoulder. You see those movies, they're idols. You see them, and you can see them on screen and come to life. It's really nice.
Yeah. Read the comics.
Yeah. So I don't think. Sometimes I'm hoping at some point we'll realize that we got to make new movies. Not only make new movies, but like leave the old ones in the past. But I don't think we'll ever reach a day like that.
No, they're still gonna bring back those old ones just so they can
Make more money off of it.
relate to them.
Yeah. And I suppose it's trying to give the new generation something to look at, like the next generations of classics of those movies, is what you could probably say.
Yeah.
But it's just. And that's where I think you get most of those opinions because of like us older people, not older, I'm not saying I'm old, even though my body feels like it some days. Anyway.
Yeah, you senior citizen.
Yeah, you should get a senior citizen discount right now. Right now.
On buffet.
Yeah, duh. Man, when I go get 4 plates, I should get 50 cents off of each one. I'm just kidding. But that's where I think you get most of those opinions and most of those hate on there, or on those movies. It's like, people like us that we grew up on those movies, or like the older people, they grew up on their movies, and they, we go and watch them, and it's like, well, it's stupid. That's not like what it was back then. But this isn't back then. We're not kids.
Yeah.
Those movies are being pointed towards kids now.
Yeah.
They're not pointed towards us. Like, they're pointed towards us to give us, like, a little bit to give us, like, a nostalgia type feel.
Right.
But they're not really pointed towards us in the end. They're pointed towards the next kids, I feel like.
Kind of like the new Jurassic Park that came out.
Yeah.
Like how they brought it in.
Yeah, it's supposed to be for, the next generation of kids. Which this next generation is going to need a lot of help, I'll tell you that. But that's, yeah.
Yeah.
That's,
Walk away.
Anyway, yeah. Movies aren't getting made like they used to. I was really hoping back then, it's like when they started coming out with like CGI and, the more technology, I was like, man, they're going to make some good movies in the future, and I'm still waiting.
Yeah, still waiting.
Still waiting for some good horror movies.
I will say Avatar was pretty good.
Yeah. Avatar was pretty decent.
But I would say that's probably the best CGI movie I've seen.
Yeah. And those kind of movies were like really revolutionary when they came out, because it's like, oh man, it's like that movie was almost like 90, like almost 100% CGI. I think.
Yeah.
Not 100%, but like
Most of it.
most of it was. It's like you see those kind of movies, like, man, we're gonna end up making some good movies in the future, and it's just like 90% of them are kind of crap.
Yep.
That's probably an over exaggeration, obviously, but most of them just miss compared to what those movies used to be. Then I will say there's that one horror movie franchise that always keeps coming out that's pretty good. I think Insidious. I want to say those movies are pretty good.
Alright.
The Nun, the one movie that I'm excited for that got announced was The Nun 2. If you want to know a good fucking scary movie like that, The Nun was a pretty damn scary movie, not gonna lie. That is one that I will give credit for from this current generation of movies. The Nun was pretty damn scary, not gonna lie. I can't wait to see the second one.
Alright. I'll have to watch that.
Yeah, it was pretty freaky, not gonna lie.
Huh. I think the last horror movie I've seen was Ouija.
Oh man, that one was, yeah. Yeah, that one was pretty messed up.
Yeah, it was.
Back when 8th grade?
It was a long time.
7th or 8th grade?
It was a long time.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I think it was around that time. Like, no. No. Yeah. It was about 8th grade, 8th and 9th grade, right in between there.
Somewhere in there, yeah.
Man, that was a long time ago. That was 8th grade was. We've been out of high school for 19, 20, 21, 22, 25 years.
It's been that long already?
It's 2023.
Fuck, what have I been doing with my life?
We've been graduated since 2018. 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. And then you got to think from 12th grade back to 8th grade. It's 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. So that was over 9 years ago.
Shit, I was going to say 10 years.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was almost 9 years ago that we watched that movie.
Yeah.
Man, you really got to catch up on horror movies, don't you?
Well, I've been busy at work.
Yeah. Yeah, we do.
How about you?
Once you get out of high school, you work and you work and you work and you work.
For this and that, this and that.
Yeah.
And everybody wants their little piece.
Yep. Kind of like nobody. It's kind of like nobody matched all the numbers on the lottery jackpot yesterday.
I matched two.
Did you?
Yeah.
I didn't match any.
If I would have gotten the third one, I won $7, but no, that didn't happen.
I guess five tickets that were purchased in like a couple different states. Obviously, none are Iowa. A couple of different states matched 5 of them, which equaled out about $1 million.
Oh, well, all right.
$1 million each ticket, but nobody won to make $1 million, and nobody won the Powerball either.
Not yet.
Yeah.
It's gonna be you or me.
I hope it's one of us, but odds are we're never going to see that day.
I wish.
I wish, yeah. And we all wish, and that's where they always catch you. Is like you wish you hit that, but it's always a weird thing. It's like how the daylights does the system that generates the winning numbers? How does it compute who gets it? Like, is it really truly based on luck, or is it based on who they decide gets it next?
It's like bingo. Rolling the ball around on a big ball, pull it out.
Okay.
So it's all.
That's just where I've wondered sometimes, is like the odds of like even like scratch ticket wins, like the odds of going to that specific store at that specific time before anybody else buys it, that one ticket,
That's just luck.
and you happen to get that one ticket that you win. How?
That's just luck. Because there's always going to be winners out there. Just the odds of what they produce some tickets in.
Yeah. It's just like sometimes I even wonder if it's even purely based on luck or based on who they decide wins it next.
Sometimes. But it's just all on luck.
Yeah. Yeah. Funny world we live in.
Oh, yeah.
Newer technology to make movies, and we get worse horror movies than we used to with less technology.
A little bit, yeah. So,
Anyway, that's gonna be this one. Just a quick video on that. I was watching a horror movie recently before this, so I was like, man, that'd be an interesting topic to talk about. But another video will go out Sunday as soon as newer games that I can actually afford come out, and I'll start making videos.
there we go. Or we go play Fortnite.
Yeah. Saturday night Fortnite streams, maybe?
Oh, I want you one right now? I'm just kidding.
No. We can since I got a tattoo to recover from next weekend, Saturday night Fortnite stream.
Yeah, sure, why not? Let's go for it.
We'll do that at 7 o'clock.
Sure, that works for me.
7 o'clock. 7 o'clock Saturday night Fortnite. Check wait for that. Subscribe to this channel and turn on the bell notifications to get any notifications on when the videos come out. So, you got that. that. Pretty soon, the plastics on the bike are going to go up as soon as I get here this week. So that'll be a good video too.
There we go, yeah.
Yeah. Without further ado, do you have anything else to add?
No, not really.
Alright. Without further rambling, we will see y'all in the next one.
Not a problem.
Not a problem.